they don't have another chance to breathe again.
There's no word in the dictionary that describes the loss of a child.
If you see impairment roadside and you can't name that drug, the current law wants you to let that person go.
We need to have people understand you don't drive while you're impaired. I don't care what you're on.
This loophole has been in place for 20 years. Is this a priority for you this upcoming legislative session?
What are we waiting for?
What are we waiting for? That's the question families are asking about a legal loophole in New York that allows drugged drivers to escape accountability until the damage has already been done. Our investigator, Mahsa Saeidi, has been trying to talk to state leaders about it for months and has been ignored. So she went to Albany to get the answers.
And being here today brings that memory when I had to walk into that hospital and see my son in a bed. That in a bed full of blood.
1 month before his high school graduation, Migdalia Rivera's son Alex was killed by a drug driver. That same year, in 2007, victims' families first began asking lawmakers to close a unique loophole. In New York, to charge an impaired driver, police must name the exact drug ingested and confirm it's on a pre-existing list. If a driver refuses to name the drug or to take a toxicology test, they walk. They can't be charged or placed into treatment until tragedy.
It's emotional to see so many people here trying to fight for something that it's our right, for something that we have lost, and that they can't acknowledge it, they can't see it.
They are the lawmakers who repeatedly refused to close the loophole. This month, families returned to Albany in support of a bill that would align New York with 46 other states.
It's just about impossible in many cases to determine exactly what the drug is.
Assemblyman Bill Magnarelli's proposal expands the definition of a drug to include any substance that impairs.
We need to have people understand you don't drive while you're impaired. I don't care what you're on, period.
Since September, we've tried to speak with the leader of the Assembly, Carl Hastie. We called, emailed, and sent messages and tweets to the Speaker, his office, and staff. For 6 months, they completely ignored us. The day before the drug driving rally, we found the Speaker at the Capitol.
Mr. Speaker, can I talk with you for a second? Do you want to close the drug driving loophole? We've been trying since September, Mr. Speaker. Do you want to close the drug driving loophole, sir, or do you have concerns about it?
A few minutes later, the Speaker came back.
So I wanted to talk with you to see what your concerns were about this loophole.
I think because there's no set technology that says that can determine when someone was, if we're talking about cannabis, when someone was smoking weed, you know, that's the thing. Like, you have a breathalyzer if someone's been drinking alcohol. And I'm also concerned that particularly, you know, communities of color get over-policed. And I just don't want this to be something that opens the door to, you know, over-policing.
So this does not impact who you pull over or how you pull them over. This is only about getting people who are severely impaired off the road. And officers are trained when someone is...
I know what the bill does. I know very well what the bill does. I'm saying to you, it's based off of a police officer's interpretation.
So until there's a breathalyzer type of test, you do not support closing this loophole?
I'm not saying that. You asked me what my concerns were. I answered your question.
This idea of an omnibus breathalyzer that can test every drug under the sun, it's just kind of silly.
Michael Archer is a forensic scientist. He says drugs are different than alcohol and from each other.
When they give somebody a breathalyzer, they calibrate it right on the spot. You know, if there were this magic breathalyzer for 30 different drugs, that would be 30 pre-calibration tests before they even ran the first test.
The Speaker also expressed concerns about solely relying on an officer to determine impairment without a test on scene.
What'd you take? What'd you take?
Prosecutors say video of these interactions makes it difficult for police to frame the innocent.
There haven't been these problems that have been raised in 46 other states. So why is New York State holding this up and allowing our citizens to be maimed and killed?
This law that needs to be passed immediately, it's a righteous law.
Alex Rivera's friend was also killed in the 2007 crash. Monroe County prosecutors say the same driver had been involved in 2 previous crashes while high.
Because we always think What would Alex would have done if he was here? Where would he have been now? Would he have kids? Would he have been grandparents? That's what I think of anytime I speak. And I'll do it until my last breath. So my son's life is not in vain, and some innocent person's life is not taken out there.
The tears and the heartache for these families is real, and so is this issue, Mahsa. You know, the speaker mentioned something about marijuana. What impact does the loophole have there?
Absolutely nothing at all. So right now, if an officer pulls you over and they smell marijuana and you're showing signs consistent with marijuana usage, they can charge you with drug driving. This isn't about marijuana. This doesn't change the marijuana laws. It's about all those other substances that officers can't identify because the driver won't tell them. And so that's what it's about. I'm not sure what he was talking about.
So what's next?
Next, hopefully the governor has the ability. She told us that she wants this loophole to be closed. She has to convince the speaker, and she also has to convince the Senate Majority Leader Andrea Stewart Cousins, and that is going to be difficult. The question is, will she be effective? And we'll continue to follow this and let you know, of course.
Mahsa, thank you. If you have a story that you'd like Mahsa and our team to investigate, scan the QR code there on your screen.